Good evening and welcome in to Tornado Live. Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel, brought to you by Black Horse Pub and Brewery. We've got a great group of guys up here with us tonight, as we've got members of the football team, also a few members on here, also on the wrestling team. So we're going to kind of dive into all of that here now. But I've got with me Jacob Crow, Kenny Harris, Darius Sudderth. Excited to have these three gentlemen on the mic with us, guys. We certainly appreciate you all taking the time out of your Wednesday night, middle of the week, to spend a little bit of time with us. But want to just go ahead and kind of deep dive into things. First things first, let's get it out of the way. Tough loss on Friday. Didn't go the way we wanted it to go. I know you guys obviously, I'm sure, not pleased with the outcome, but take a loss, you turn it into a lesson. What's been the message this week in practice as you kind of get that taste out of your mouth?
We really can't just let this hold us back. We got to keep going week by week. We're looking forward, not back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll also say that was one of the best times for us to take that loss. I feel like going into the playoffs and getting that little bit of humbling experience, and maybe that just like notch down, make us work harder, grind more. That's the best place for us to take a loss. I have real confidence in my team to take it back and go win 5 straight.
Yeah, I think it really kind of just really relit that fire underneath us and got us ready to come back stronger this Friday and throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the game against Anderson County, probably your toughest opponent since week 1, right? So it had been a minute since we really had to play that kind of football, and especially 4 quarters of football, where you guys had gotten opportunities either at the second or by the third quarter to kind of take a back seat, let some of the younger guys get an opportunity. So testing your endurance late in the season. But like you said, Kenny, I agree. And Darius, I agree with you guys. Like, what an opportunity to get it at the right moment. You know, maybe not the moment we wanted, but probably the right moment right before playoffs to just kind of go, okay, wait a minute. Like, hey, we got to take another step. There's a few things we can clean up to really elevate our game and show people what we're all about. I've heard a lot of people this week say you woke up a sleeping giant, and I can't wait to see what you guys bring to the playoffs. One thing I think, whether you're at greatness or whether you're still chasing it and you've got a ways to go, there's always areas of opportunity, right? Perfection is not achievable, but the opportunity to try is. And so I want to know from you all, what's been the areas of opportunity for you that you feel like, whether it's individually, whether it's as a team, that you've really focused on this week to try to improve?
A lot of the minor things that we failed to do during the game, it was a team effort. And this week we polished some things up, getting ready going into week 1.
All right, Kenny.
Sorry. I feel like defensively, we've really focused this week on just being more physical up front and controlling the line of scrimmage, because we're going up against some teams that playing a similar brand of football as AC throughout the playoffs. So we got to make sure we really control that line of scrimmage and make sure we get tackles in the backfield and stuff like that.
And I'll just say film. I'll go in with Nix. We'll watch a couple plays, break down all the small things about what we could have done better that game, and about what we do in the future to prevent things from happening. And I do that around my team, and they're taking that criticism, and I know I'm taking that criticism to help push us a step forward.
All right, one final question over here on my side before I turn it over to Scott. But you now move up into 4A football. Another opportunity, and I think another way to kind of show what you're all about. And for you guys, especially a few of you as seniors, a chance to really kind of set the tone moving forward for the future of Alcoa football. Is there any sort of additional motivation this season going into 4A playoffs and trying to prove something, or is it just kind of the standard is the standard and nothing changes?
I think it's a little bit of both. We still have the standard that we want to win, and also we have something to prove to a lot of people that, they say move up, we're not playing good competition. Well, now we are, and we want to prove to them that we could handle that.
And I'll just say that when we had first got to the season, we had that one game, the hard game, Maryville, and then we've coursed through. But I I'm motivated to just show everybody that we are who we say we are and that we could still go and win this thing. I'm motivated by my seniors, by people who I've been watching since I was a freshman and even since I was in sixth grade and I've grown up with. And I'm just looking at them and looking at my team and getting ready.
Yeah, I really agree with Jacob. Like, it's both. Like, winning is the standard at Alcoa, and like it feels like that's what's expected of us. And we're also motivated to show everybody, like, prove, like, hey, like you can say all this stuff, like we're not playing good opponents, whatever. It doesn't matter. We should be able to win at any level.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Heath. And guys, one of the things is we've gotten so used to Alcoa winning. If you lost the game, it was only Maryville. You know, didn't change anything. You're still winning championships. So granted, you do get a little complacent after a while. Think about it, 10 championships in a row. You know, again, you don't want to be a guy that, you know, drops the ball per se, but you know what? Too much pride in Alcoa. They're going to get out there, we know, and get after it. And like you mentioned earlier, poking the bear. You know, I think in what you mentioned earlier about this win or this loss probably came at a good time to kind of get your attention again and get back out there. But now you moved up to 4A, like Heath said. You have all the people that are saying, oh, I don't know if Alcoa can do it in 4A. And we know you guys are going to show it. We're going to go 5-0, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. But this is coming up against Cherokee coming up Friday night. A little bit different the way they've set the playoffs up this year. So could be a little different. This possibly could be your last home game at Alcoa this season. What are your thoughts about that?
My last home game, you know, I've loved it here. It's gonna be exciting at the same time, you know, playing for the last time, seeing all the seniors play the last game, including me. Nothing else to say about that besides I'm gonna play really hard.
Yeah, it's you know, last home game. I've only been playing football for 2 years. You know, it's already made like a big impact. There's been a lot of memories here. It's gonna be sad whenever it's over. Like, man, like this was a good time, you know. But I think it motivates me really to end the season playing at home on a good note. You know, pushing hard and making sure I can get done what I'm supposed to get done.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to transition now to talking about wrestling. I know a few of you up here with us are on the wrestling team, so I want to know about, for you two, tell me about what got you into wrestling in the first place.
Okay, I'll take this one first. My dad had been trying to convince me for a long, long time and just different people around. But when I was in middle school, my 8th grade year, it was Coach Gamble. He came up to me at lunch. He was giving out flyers for it. And then once I saw him tell me to go ahead and get into it, that's what brought me there.
Yeah, for me, so I was playing football in the Pee-wees, I think it was, the little ones. And my buddy Logan was already wrestling, and he was like, oh, dude, you should do it. It's so fun. And I was like, okay. So I went and tried it out, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I just stuck with it since I was 10 years old.
I think what's cool too about you two is it's kind of two different perspectives and kind of what sport you started with first and then what you went to next, right? Like you in football and then went to wrestling. Yep. And you've kind of done both now. But for you started at wrestling and then you've transitioned to football. So I'd really like to know from both of you, how do you feel like wrestling has really kind of transformed or maybe helped you guys in football as well? Because I remember in high school, our coaches used to tell us all the time too, like, hey, you should come wrestle. You should come wrestle, like, especially if you're a lineman or a linebacker, like it's going to really help you a ton on the football field. And being a wide receiver, I don't know how much it would have helped me, who knows? But for you guys, like, talk to me a little bit about what that has done for you all and developed you.
So for me, it's helped a lot physically with explosiveness and like core strength, being down there on the line, with hand fighting as well, with pass rushing. It's also helped mentally. Like wrestling is mentally probably the toughest sport there is, and so whenever we get there, we're in a tough spot. I feel like I'm already prepared for this. Like it's okay, we're hanging in here, we're fighting. So I think that's how it's helped me.
And I would say it helped me. Of course, with my hands, I feel like the way I'm able to evade blockers and get off of blocks, rip, but all that is because what wrestling's taught me with using my hands and getting off quick. I also say endurance is huge. Endurance is what helped me pick it up on the football field. It's why you'll still see me making plays later into the game. And I still try to this day not to get cramps, anything like that. So I like to keep that up 24/7.
Scott, all right. Well, I am actually gonna flip it back to football as we close this out with you guys, because I actually just kind of thought of one or two more questions that I think you'll be fine with it. So first off, for my linebacker over here, I want to talk about one of the youngsters that I feel like next year is really going to be in tandem with you as Kate Stinnett graduates, is Man Henry, and I've been saying, who knows if my opinion is right or wrong, but based on what I've seen from freshman year and then now sophomore year, I have been saying, and you can ask Scott, I've probably said it in every broadcast since he's been making plays, I think Man Henry is Eli Owens 2.0 in his build and his style and his explosiveness. I can really see that future development potentially becoming that. I want to know kind of your thoughts on the growth you've seen from him and kind of how he has stepped his game up here in year two.
All right, little cuz. Since I played with him first time, my 8th grade year, his 7th grade year, I knew what he had. I knew he'd come work with me after practice. I'd seen him coming up from his freshman year to now, and he's just grown so much. He's taken in the game. He listens to criticism. When I tell him something, or when Coach Nick sits onto him and says anything, he's ready to fix that. I know his work ethic. I know how hard he wants it, so he'll be really successful.
And now over, Jacob, I'm going to throw this one your way. So, being kind of, I would say, one of the leaders and seniors on that offensive line, I think you've got some younger guys there that probably look up to players like you and want to emulate you and what you've been able to do and the work you've put in, the growth that you've had to be able to give yourself an opportunity at the next level. Is there a young guy or two that you feel like, whether it's on the starting line or maybe one who's the next one up, who you feel like is kind of the next guy to look out for, who's really kind of maybe copies your game a little bit and is going to be the next guy here at Alcoa on the offensive line?
Starting lineup, I don't think really anyone copies my game. There's next person really is Marley, but he's his own thing. He's a really good football player. But younger guy, I'd say Noah Carnegie. He was about my height coming out. He's weighs a little bit stronger than me, but yeah, he's going to be a good player coming.
You want to talk about feeling old? Noah's dad was a year or two older than me at Heritage when we played football together. So I saw Noah the other day on the line, or early in the season on the lineup. He started following me on Instagram on 2Hype, and I thought, golly, like, where has time gone? I didn't think I'm that old, but kudos to him. He sounds like he's going to be a really good player. I'm excited to watch his growth. But, I'll just leave it as we close this segment out with, if we don't get you guys back up here on the mic with us throughout the rest of the playoffs, especially you seniors, like, it's been such a blessing to watch your growth, to watch your work, the effort you guys put in. I know I've got to talk to this guy a few times. It's always a pleasure talking to him. But man, like, it's just so fun to watch you guys put it all out there on the line each and every Friday. Losing is never fun. But man, I just kept thinking over the weekend, especially trying to get myself out of the mood I was in, is I was like, man, take this loss and turn it into a lesson, and I just kept telling myself that, like, I hope that's what those guys are doing. And I had a feeling you were, but Kenny, like, I think about your development on the line, and I think about when you got player of the game, man, you got us fired up in the booth. You busted through that line, quarterback went to hand it off, and you just lit him up as soon as he got it. And I was like, okay, I see you, Kenny. And so I think late in that game, I turned to Dad and them in the booth, and I was like, Kenny Harris, player of the game? And they were like, all were like, absolutely. So we've just been really impressed watching your growth in the D-line. And then Jacob, man, like, you're just a force, and you have put so much work in. I talked to, I think, Coach Felder at the middle school the other day about you, and he talked about how great it is to have players come back and be able to motivate his middle school team and say, hey, like, this was me in middle school. And who would have thought by the time I was a senior, I would have these opportunities. But if you put the work in, you stay focused and dedicated, look what can happen. And so excited to see you at the next level. But, man, I'm hoping for 5 more weeks, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it watching you guys play football. So we wish you the best. We'll be up in the booth cheering you on no matter where we travel. We'll be there. I have all the elementary school kids going, "Are you gonna be at the game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there every Friday night." So we've got your back in the booth, and we'll be cheering you on from there. So good luck, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Scott and I will close this out as we'll talk a little bit about the Anderson County game and then talk about this week against Cherokee and what you have to look forward to on Friday night. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back into Tornado Live, sponsored by Black Horse Pub and Brewery. Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel, excuse me. Scott, we had a great group of young men up here with us a minute ago. It's just always a pleasure to be able to talk to members of the football team, a lot of great young men.
Yes, they are. And we've had Darius up here a couple of times. Really enjoy talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. But we've had some of the other guys up here as well. Enjoy all of them. And not just the football players, but also, the other ones that have been up here, the band members, you had one
from
DECA, yeah, talking with coaches, whether it be swimming, golf, cross country, whatever. We really enjoyed having all of them up here.
Yeah, I mean, getting to talk to Kenny tonight, getting to talk to Jacob Crow as well. I got to talk to both of them at the beginning of the season when I did some senior spotlights on them individually, but getting them now near the end of the season and being able to kind of catch up with them was really fun. But yeah, like you said, we want to continue to build this thing here at Tornado Live. It's not just football based. We want other people to join us as well, other members of the Alcoa community that we can have a conversation with, whether it's DECA, whether it's singers, whether it's the golf team, whether it's the swim team. I actually had a conversation about that this week, and I said, hey, we need to get the swim team back on here. So I think they're going to talk about finding a way to get back with us and get here on Tornado Live. They had this past weekend I believe it was the Blount County Invitational, so got a lot of opportunities with some of their younger swimmers to kind of grow and develop in that one. I heard that went well for them, and so looking forward to seeing how that season progresses. I've also been told or voluntold that in January I think I'm going to be PA announcing for one of their meets. So I'll be getting my voice ready for that as well and continuing to learn swimming. But Scott, let's take a minute. Let's kind of digest again a little bit, just kind of our kind of final assessment, in our opinion, of what took place Friday night.
We'll run into a very tough team. We knew this was a team we had circled already on the calendar. Other than Maryville, we had Anderson County. We said this was going to be a tough game coming in. We knew it. Motivation on their part at senior night. And any team that has Alcoa on your schedule, if you're not motivated to play that team, you don't need to be there. So they're motivated to play Alcoa. They're coming in, one of the best teams in the state of Tennessee. You've got a chance to win your region, and you got a chance to go out on your regular season for your seniors. There's a lot of motivation. Anderson County was ready. Alcoa struggled a little bit in places. Some of that was self-induced. Some of that was just Anderson County is a good football team.
Yeah, they were impressive. Jason Thompson is the real deal. I thought he had a great game. We attempted to make some adjustments as the game progressed, but he was really just a tough guy to stop. And it shows why he's going to be successful at the next level. But I think some injuries at certain times, some mistakes here and there certainly hurt us throughout the ball game. But you know, as Darius put it, I mean, he kind of felt like it came at the right time, leading into playoffs, kind of waking us back up, motivating us. And I told them earlier, I felt like we didn't play our best game. So to not play our best game and lose by only one, I think is motivation for what's possible moving forward. I think you also hope that we can make our way to the semifinals, and so can AC, and that they get an opportunity and they beat Greenville, and then that we get to go back up to Anderson County and get a chance for a rematch to see what we're made of.
Exactly, Heath, and that would be fun. Either whether they come to us or we go back to them, kind of determines a little bit too, I think, of whether or not you face this team before during the regular season as well as they make that decision. But first things first, we got Cherokee coming up. Get past Cherokee, more than likely, unless Signal Mountain comes out of nowhere, you're going to be looking at Upperman in a team that it's been years since we faced, but a very hostile environment as well.
Yeah, I mean, the way that last game at Upperman went several years ago when we played it was kind of a controversial call near the end of the ball game that ended up going Alcoa's way. A lot of feistiness in the press box. And so I know we were trying to get ourselves out of there as quickly as possible, and we were happy to at least be leaving with a W. But yeah, it was a tough game, a great environment. And from everything I've seen so far coming into this, if we get to move on to round two, is Upperman's got a really good quarterback that is extremely talented, has been playing for a few years now. He is a dual threat, so really got to keep a spy on him and be kind of keeping him in check and forcing him to throw the football, because apparently he can really do some damage with his legs. So this will be that'll be a big test. But yeah, you got to get past Cherokee first. You come into today against Cherokee 9-1 for the season. As for Cherokee, they come into this game 7-3. Now they are coming off of a loss. They lost to Northview Academy last week on Thursday, 13-31. So they're looking to bounce back. Alcoa is looking to bounce back. But you look at Cherokee, they're averaging 35 points a game, allowing 26. And then offensively, 377 yards per game. Defensively, they allow 290 yards per game. So I think there's some opportunity there for Alcoa football team, who now after last week averages 47 points a game, allows only 9. But Scott, one of the things I've been impressed throughout the season that I think we've done a really good job of is we're a really balanced football team. 225 passing yards to 195 per game. We keep things pretty balanced, and it's certainly helpful when you've got a lot of depth at those positions.
That it is, Heath. And you look at Thomas Manu, who's had an outstanding season. You can't argue with what he's got. 119 completions out of 150 attempts, 2,068 yards, 34 touchdowns. Here's the thing I find most impressive, and you don't see this out of a lot of quarterbacks, especially on the high school level. 0 interceptions.
Yeah, 34 touchdowns. I said this in the broadcast last week, but TSSAA, when you look at their records, they have got a list of about 10 or 11 quarterbacks that have in a single season thrown 40 touchdowns or more. He's 6 away from getting himself onto that list. And I can tell you that personally, from my opinion, I have a feeling he's going to eclipse that this year, and I'm looking forward to watching him do it. Another player to talk about, too, is Jameer Dean. 36 receptions, 659 yards, 12 touchdowns. He averages 18 yards a catch, almost 2 first downs every time he touches the football. I also did a little bit of a deep dive this week into his career totals just to see kind of where he stood. He is currently 56 yards away from eclipsing 1,500 yards receiving for his career.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, so a lot of talented players that have an opportunity. Jacoby Cooper is he is 101 yards away from 1,000 yards in his career as well. I think he could get that this season also. And then Condis Cherry is 4 yards away from 1,000 career rushing yards at Alcoa.
Well, and you see Jacoby Cooper, as you mentioned, Heath, he's only 8 yards away from 500 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's had an outstanding season. And as you talked about Dean just a second ago, 12 receiving touchdowns. Cooper with 7 receiving touchdowns. They're spreading it out among the receivers and the running backs, as well as Cherry has 7 rushing touchdowns, and Micah Jones also has 7.
Well, and you look on the other side of the football too, Scott. We saw a valiant defensive effort last week, a hard-fought game, a couple players getting banged up and bruised. It certainly doesn't feel good when you get banged up and bruised in cold weather. Every hit stings. But I know they're working themselves back, and I've gotten some good reports there. But you think about one of the players on that defense that he's just a ball hawk. Micah Jones, 4 interceptions this season now. He's got 1 forced fumble, 1 defensive touchdown. He made one of those interceptions early in the ball game last week. He's played a little bit offensively, but he's been a really key cog on the defensive side of the football.
That he has. And, as you mentioned, Jones, you got Sutterth, you have Man Henry. There's a lot of other players out there. Jam as well out there behind you. So you've got a lot of players, and that defense is good. I mean, not too many teams only give up 9 points per game. There's a lot of teams, as you saw, and you talked about Cherokee, how much they gave up, during the season. But Friday nights was just caught us on a bad night.
It did, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they bounce back this week. I know Coach Nix is going to have that team ready. Coach Nix with another opportunity to get himself to 50 career wins. So we hope to see that on Friday night, and that we're able to continue to keep this train rolling. But it was a fun night tonight, having a lot of great young men up here on the mic with us, talking a little bit of Alcoa football, a little Alcoa wrestling as well. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you enjoyed Tornado Live this week, and we enjoy each and every week getting to bring that to you. But thanks again for tuning in, Scott. Thanks for joining me tonight. And guys, we'll see you soon here on Tornado Live.